Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is an amazing game and it's having an amazing amount of success. I don't think it's any secret that over the last few years Call of Duty, the brand, has taken a little bit of a hit. It is evident by the amount of players that they've lost, but I also think that Call of Duty at its core is still an amazing title, and I think they still have the ability to push out amazing games, as evident by this latest installment in the franchise. Call of Duty over the years did take a massive hit. For me personally, I think it kind of started to take a decline when it came to Call of Duty Ghost, which in my opinion is still one of the worst Call of Duty games. I don't know whether people will agree or disagree with that, but I really feel like that was the beginning of the slump, and they did manage to kind of pull it back again with the next few games, and I think Warzone was probably an all-time high for them, but the two installments after that was definitely nothing to write home about. The next Black Ops game that released after Warzone did not nearly have the amount of success that they anticipated, and I think it is Infinity Wars or whatever the name of the latest installment was. That game in my opinion was just a complete disaster, and it completely tanked. Most people were not happy with the game, and most people were very upset when it came to the direction that the franchise was choosing to head in. It was just a disappointing game, it really was. But Call of Duty also proved that they can pull it back, that they can come up with still amazing games, and this year Infinity Ward did an absolutely amazing job with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It is a great game, and honestly it got me back into the franchise again. Over the years I've kind of still kept track of Call of Duty, even though I didn't pick up a Call of Duty game in many years, but I always still looked at the reviews, I always still looked at the gameplay, I always still looked at the walkthroughs, and it just seemed like most people were upset by it. But with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, it is one of those titles that kind of brought me back into the franchise again, and it is great to see that they're not just phoning it in every year, that they are still trying to improve. And yes, you're gonna have some years where they kind of just misses, but you can also see that they are trying their best to hit a home run, and this year they definitely did. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is an amazing success. In fact, it made $800 million in its opening weekend, and now after 10 days of sales, it has actually crossed $1 billion, which is just absolutely insane, and I think things are set to get even more impressive for them when Call of Duty Warzone 2 launched. The first Warzone was already an amazing success, and I hope that they will be able to pull off Warzone 2 as well. But when it comes to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, it is definitely great to see that the game has this level of success, because it really is a good game. In an article from Windows Central, they say that Activision Blizzard shared on Monday that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 crossed $1 billion in launch sales just 10 days after its full release on October 28, 2022. This comes after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 already reached $800 million in sales in its first 3 days of full availability. The previous record holder for a Call of Duty game got $1 billion in launch sales. The fastest was in 2012 for Call of Duty Black Ops 2 that crossed $1 billion in sales after 15 days. Now, the general manager for Call of Duty said the incredible momentum driving Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is a direct reflection of the energy and passion of the Call of Duty community. As we look ahead to the unprecedented level of support for Modern Warfare 2 and for Warzone 2's launch next week, we are motivated to deliver again for the best player community in the world. And again, it is still great to see that after all these years they managed to put together a great game, that they are not just phoning it in every year. Like I said, you see so many yearly releases that's kind of just a cash grab, and although you can make the argument that some years Call of Duty are definitely guilty of it, you are also seeing a lot more success. If you take a look at FIFA for instance, or Madden, or any one of those 2K/EA games that release every year, you just see how they completely do not care. It's just a complete copy and paste with almost no innovation at all. before, and they just keep doing it because people keep buying it, and the review score every year is just worse and worse. The player experience every year is just worse and worse. Seeing Call of Duty Modern Warfare kind of coming out and having this level of success because it is such a great game, because they offer so much value, it really does give you hope in the franchise again. And I do hope that when Warzone 2 launches, it will have the same level of success, but I also hope that it will have the same level of content and the same level of value for the player base. And I do think that they can pull it off, and I do think that this can be a new era of Call of Duty. And hopefully both these titles this year can go on to get even more success, because I do think, especially when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, it is a great game that does deserve the success.